Alexander Volkanovski is going to knock out Islam Makhachev at UFC 294 in Abu Dhabi. The world is going to lose their mind. He's going to take this fight on 10 days' notice. 3 months ago, he had surgery. 1 month ago, his wife had a baby. And now, as I say, 10 days' notice, flying across to the other side of the world. He's going to make weight, step up a weight class, and knock out Islam Makhachev in stunning fashion. Something that he couldn't do before over 5 rounds. Well, that's according to Volkanovski. I'm not saying that, Islam fans. Don't come after me. That is what Volkanovski is saying. He says, I believe I can finish him. I think you're probably going to see one of the most dangerous Volkanovskis that you've ever seen. Just purely because I can't afford to do anything else. Stuff leaving it to the judges. Stuff any of that. Let's just go out there and really set a statement. Go and knock him out. That's going to be an absolutely mind-blowing thing for the world to see. And it really would. It would be mind-blowing. Now listen, the reason he's so confident, and he should be, is because the man feels no pressure. I've experienced this myself. Other people have. For example, when Nate Diaz stepped up on short notice against Conor McGregor, shocked the world. The man had nothing to lose. He felt no pressure. It's that pressure of competing. It's the anxiety of losing. It's doing all that hard work and it being for nothing. That really restricts your ability inside the octagon. Well, now that is not a thing, right? Volkanovski's coming into this one very confident, and mainly because all the questions have been answered. The what ifs. One of the toughest things about fighting is the mental anxiety, the questions. How strong is he? Is he just going to ragdoll me? Is he going to pick me up and slam me all over the place? Well, that question's been answered. He knows he can deal with the wrestling. Is he going to knock me out? Has he got this crazy one-punch power? Can I take his best shots? Again, that has been answered. He's been 5 rounds with him. So the big questions, the anxieties, the what-ifs, they're all answered. They don't exist anymore. He knows he can compete. And then on top of that, no pressure because he's stepping up last minute, okay? So he's already won the fight in many people's eyes, right? He's already proven what kind of fighter he is, what kind of attitude he has, and he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. Now, one of the reasons I think him finishing might be a possibility is because he's not going to go out there and fight a 5-round style. He's not going to try and drag him out and get him into the later rounds and then look for an opportunity, because if we're being honest, more than likely Islam Makhachev is going to be better prepared. He's going to be in better cardiovascular shape. He's going to have better conditioning and stamina. Okay, but Volkanovski isn't the type of guy that blows up and gets out of shape, right? He said, listen, I don't really get out of shape. I don't lose fitness overnight. I don't really lose any fitness because he's always training. Sure, you have to peak throughout an 8-week period. That is optimal. That's what you're looking for. But sometimes you go out there and just swing. You never know. You might just connect. Left hook Larry did that. When I went out there and I fought Luke Rockhold, short notice, just over 2 weeks, I believe, I was extremely confident. I really was. But again, I felt no pressure. And that is so mentally freeing, because when you go into a fight, right, a lot of the mental anxiety comes from, I can't afford to lose. I don't want to do all this work and be made a fool of. I don't want to grind every single day in the gym, show up and then get beaten. Okay, so it affects your mentality. It affects your output. It affects your willingness to commit to every single strike. Now, as I said, that's not an issue for Volkanovski because he's taking it on such short notice. He said, can I do 5 rounds? Yeah, I can. But I'm not going to sit there and kill myself because I don't have time to prepare for the worst. What I do have time to prepare for is what I believe is going to happen. Now, I can take this sort of freshness into the fight. That's the word I've been using in this fight. Going in there, sort of excited, sort of fresh, and it's like, I don't have to prepare for the worst. Now, can he knock him out? That's what it all started with. The reason I say it's possible is because he's going to swing more. He's going to be more reckless because he's got to swing for the fences. If it goes 5 rounds, it's probably going to start to tip into the balance of Volkanovski. He's probably going to do better, right? Because he's in better shape, talking about Islam. He's probably in better shape. But Volkanovski has knockout power. He has stopping power. Look at the way he took out Yair Rodriguez last time. Started it off with the hands. Very good power, and now he's going to commit to every single shot because he knows he's going to go for the kill, okay? He can't engage in a tactical, strategic game plan. It's go out there, keep the fight on the feet, and let's go. Now, in the first fight, he was switching stances from orthodox to southpaw. And as he was switching stances, he would progress, advance, step forward, swing a right hook, and then he's going to roll under any counters from Islam, bang, bang, bang. I think we're going to see that a lot. Look out for that switch stance to close the distance, throw the right hook, and then unleash from there. Now, a lot of people also feel that this is going to happen. Now, granted, you know, people like Robert Whittaker, that's who I'm talking about, they might be biased because they're friends, because they're countrymen, and I certainly get that. But he said, Whittaker, he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I can see that being a bit of a problem for Makhachev. I look at it and I wonder, what does Makhachev do from the first fight to beat Volk? What can Makhachev do so differently that it's not as close of a fight? Because arguably, Volk won. And arguably, Volk did win. I watched the first fight back again just recently. I scored it 3-2. 2 rounds apiece going into the 5th. And in the 5th round, Volkanovski dropped him. Recently, I partnered with a company called Legacy Precious Metals. Now, I know a lot of people are going through tough times right now, but if you are fortunate enough to where you have a few dollars left over every month to think about investing, then maybe investing in gold and silver through Legacy Precious Metals might be for you. Now, the stock market, if you follow that stuff, it's all over the place. In fact, it's plummeting right now. But precious metals, they've always held their value or even increased. So, of course, that's something that we're all interested in. Does it have to be a lot of money? It can just be a little bit, because it all adds up over time. Now, if you click the link, there is a guide there. It'll tell you all about investing in gold and silver, or you can give them a call and they will answer all of your questions at 866-933-0317. If you look at the strike count from the first fight, Makhachev landed 95 strikes. Volkanovski landed 164. Knockdowns, 0 for Makhachev, 1 for Volkanovski. Takedowns, 4 for Islam, of course, and 0 for Volkanovski. Control time, 7 minutes, 37 seconds, which is massive for Islam. 2 minutes, 55 for Volkanovski. Now, as we know, it's the 3 Ds: damage, duration, and dominance. That's what counts in a fight. The damage was more than likely done on Volkanovski's side. He knows that. He was taken down and controlled for 7 minutes and 37 seconds in a 25-minute fight. He didn't get submitted. It wasn't even really close. There was one time where he was having a rear naked choke, and then Volk got out of it, and then he was chilling, he was smiling, he was putting the thumbs up, he was punching him in the back of the head. All those questions have been answered. He knows he cannot get submitted. I mean, the man's got no neck, for crying out loud. How do you choke out a bowling ball on top of a body? It's impossible. There's no neck. You can't choke him out. But the main thing is the damage was mainly done on the side of Volkanovski. So throughout this 5-round fight, we're going to see Volkanovski go out there and swing for the fences. And you never know. He might just catch him. Look, listen, stranger things have happened. I was a massive underdog, as I said, against Luke Rockhold. He'd already beaten me the first time. He choked me out in the second round. I went out there and I knew that I was on limited time. I knew I had to swing for the fences because I knew I couldn't go 5 rounds. And what happened? I believed, I conceived, and I fucking well achieved.
Conceive, believe, achieve. Shut the fuck up.
I caught him on the chin, left hook Larry, dropped him, and then that was it. That was the beginning of the end, and that's all she wrote. And an annoying bastard that never shuts up about it was born. But I'm joking, of course. Just a little bit. I am joking, but these are real things. The mental side of things, that is the biggest hurdle for a lot of fighters. Even at the highest level in the UFC, you see so many fighters, and when they lose a fight, they start to taper off. They start to lose because the self-belief is gone. Volkanovski's self-belief is through the roof. Volkanovski believes that the first time out that he was kind of robbed. And Islam Makhachev knows that, hold on a minute, brother, this is a very hard fight. Okay? This is a tough fight. Oliveira, he smoked Oliveira. He smoked him from start to finish, right? And in round 2, took him down and tapped him out easily. That wasn't the case with Volkanovski. So even though Volk is taking on short notice, so is Islam. And for Islam, the pressure's on. The pressure is on. Now, I know that he's got such a mental fortitude that the pressure of such a fight and the bright lights and the big city and Abu Dhabi and all the pressure of that and him, it kind of being in his backyard, right? That's not going to bother him because the mental fortitude is so strong, okay? But there is also this thing of, hold on a minute, I was fighting somebody that I destroyed in round 2 and made look easy. Now I'm fighting a guy that a lot of people thought won, that I couldn't really damage last time out, and he's taking it on short notice. So respect to Islam. We've got to give respect to Islam. And Volkanovski, the fact that he's saying that he's going for the knockout, listen, that makes it even more dangerous because that is true. That is what he has to do. And he does have the power. Now, when you look at the record of Volkanovski, 26 wins, 2 losses, 13 knockouts, 13 submissions, okay? So he's knocked out quite a few people. Last time out, TKO over Yair Rodriguez, TKO over Chang Sung-jung, the Korean zombie. You got to go back to Chad Mendes before that, back in 2018. He beat Aldo, Holloway twice, Brian Ortega, and Max Holloway again, all via decision. So you might think, well, hold on a minute. Here's a guy that isn't really a knockout artist, and he's saying that he's going to go and knock out Islam Makhachev. People called me pillow fists throughout the majority of my career. I knew I could punch, but at the toppest level, it's very hard to knock out world-class opponents, especially when they're trying to knock you out as well. It's not that easy, believe it or not. So don't be fooled by the record. Just because there's a few of his fights that have gone to decisions, don't think for 1 second that Volkanovski isn't capable of securing a knockout here. And then on top of the fact that he's got no pressure and he's the underdog and the whole world is just impressed and enthralled by what he's doing, that is mentally freeing, that makes him dangerous, and that really makes the possibility of a knockout for Volkanovski a real thing, and you never know. Crazier things have happened. Can't wait for this fight. Respect to both men. There'll be a video on Khamzat coming up later today. Make sure you subscribe and ring the channel because we've got lots of UFC 294 content coming your way this week, so don't miss it. Take it easy. Have a good day.